We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
I am here with Mattt Johnson, the multi-talented director, writer, and star of Operation Avalanche.
That's right, yeah.
So first of all, tell us about the movie and what it's based on.
The premise is simple. It's about young CIA agents faking the moon landing in the 1960s because they find out that NASA can't make it to the moon. And almost selfishly and stupidly, they begin the journey of figuring out how they will fake the moon landing from inside NASA. And it takes them to some very dark places.
This is setting us back 4 years. We can't land on the moon. We aren't touching down for 5 years.
Do you understand what this means? NASA can't do it. They can't land man and come back.
A lot of the movie is, like you say, there's dark elements to the movie, there's creepy, mysterious, fantastic parts of the movie, but there's also a lot of funny parts of the movie, and I think most of them revolve around your character.
Yeah, well, he's very ambitious.
Okay.
I mean, he sort of plays like a version of the real me, or I should say I'm playing a version of myself. And he's basically a young guy who wound up at the CIA by accident. I think he really wanted to be a filmmaker, and he went to film school, and he was drafted into this program called the Bright Recruits Program, which was a real CIA initiative to just get very, very smart people at the CIA. And it's a bad fit for him. He doesn't work well in a big bureaucratic environment. And so he's doing everything he can to try to get promoted.
And some of the enthusiasm with which he does his planning, scheming.
Yeah, he's stoked. Yeah, he's an excited guy. Yeah, that's the only way he gets by, because he's got to convince some people of some insane shit, and so he has to have a lot of energy.
We can make a film that shows us going to the moon without actually doing it. Kubrick is getting NASA to make sure that his space movie looks like real space. And so we're going to use his space movie to make sure the real space movie looks like space. Do you understand how crazy that is?
The way we shot it was we tried to put me and the other actors in these actual situations. So when you see us in NASA walking around, meeting people, like shooting things secretly, that's because me and the other actors and the cameraman really did go to actual NASA undercover, saying that we were film students making a documentary. So it's like we in real life are doing the exact same thing that the characters are doing. So we're breaking into places, filming things in the dark, filming things secretly, and the reason that we look scared is because we really are.
You are being paranoid.
If they find out what we're doing, then we're dead.
Have you heard of a conspiracy theory before?
Yeah, I think we're in one.
I think it is kind of odd that not as many people are doing this as we are. I think it's very bizarre because the format to me is so fertile, and I think our culture is moving so much more towards this place, especially with social media. People are so obsessed with documenting their own experience. Mm-hmm. We've become much more used to the idea of the self-narrative. It's like, here's my life told through me, told through my access point to you. Mm-hmm. And here's a guy who works for the CIA who is making a movie about himself, breaking into NASA and faking the moon landing, but not because he thinks faking the moon landing is gonna make America a great place, is because he wants to be a superstar. And here, of course, the great irony of this story is that Matt is making a movie about himself that, of course, nobody will get to see, because that is the proof that they faked the moon landing. And he just can't quite wrap his head around that.
We ask God's blessing on the most hazardous and dangerous and greatest adventure on which man has ever embarked.